Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today we are going to work on this tree. We are going to repot him and maybe clean some of the gins here and apply lime sulfur. But the main purpose today is to get this tree into a smaller pot, because I think this pot is a little too heavy. So I'm going to give it a shot and try to get him into a smaller one. So let's see what we have. So the pot I'm going to try to use, because it's only trying, because I'm not sure that all the roots will fit in nicely, is this oval pot. It's not glazed, it's brown, and you might remember this pot from the Japanese maple, the raft, which I planted now in a blue pot. And well, I took the opportunity of cleaning this pot very well and oiling it, so that it's become quite nice again. All the chalk is gone now, and all the stains from the years that have passed are now removed. So I'm going to try to put the tree in this pot, and first of all we will have to get the tree out of the old one. So I don't think it's going to be difficult to get this tree out of this pot, because it's only been there for 1 year now. Only problem is that I have this see, this guy wire. Well, I'll find a solution. One of the main reasons why I want to get this tree out of this pot is because of this plant. This one. I don't know the word of this, the name of this plant in English. In Dutch, this plant is called levermos. So yeah, well, if I think of it, I will look it up. And it's generally a sign that the drainage in the pot is not really as it should be. So I will have to change the soil mix for a more draining one. Some of these moss parts are very nice, like this, so I'm gonna get them out first, and well, you know, the rest of it is just getting this tree out of the pot, and then we'll see what we have. So, well, the root ball is not gigantic, which is good news for today's purpose. You're looking at the back of the tree now, and here you can see the little graft that I made. So it's starting to get well into the main trunk here. Maybe at the end of the season this will be closed completely, and I could be able to remove this part. This is an air layer of the same tree, and because I was lacking a branch here, I just put a graft here, and here again is this plant that I should get rid of. So I'm just going to clean out the root ball a little. So I'm slowly removing the moss from all places, and I'm getting there slowly. See, this tree is very wet. It's not a good soil mix for a juniper. I will have to change slightly my basic soil mix. Junipers do love water, but they don't like to have wet feet. It's good to water them often, but the drainage must be good. So my first impression when I lift this tree is that the root mass under it is a little too too thick, and when I scratch the bottom, there are a few remains of the very old substrate I used, which contained lots of compost and things like that. So I'm going to scrape this away. See, it's very wet too. So I will definitely have to replace all this with better draining substrate. There's a quite thick root here. I don't know if you can see it. Yep. And well, maybe I'm going to try to reduce it by 1 centimeter or so. But I will have a better view when this tree is washed a little. So I'm just continuing scraping. So this is how the tree should look in its new pot, but yeah, I think it's a little high. And the main problem is, of course, this thick roots. Now, all this lower part of the tree is just filled with small roots, and I think I will just have to continue to untangle this and then maybe gain 1 or 2, maybe 3 centimeters by removing this big root here, because, well, this tree is very healthy. It has tons of little feeder roots, which I should use to keep this tree in good health. So yeah, I will have to continue digging of old soil from under it, and then do some cutting on these thick roots here. So as you can see, it is possible to remove some very old soil from the roots by doing it gently, of course. And I think some of these soil is really old. First of all, because of well, some parts that I found in it. That I found some little, you know, these little yellow fertilizer balls they use in some nurseries. I found some in here, so I'm digging into quite a old soil now. And also the smell of this old soil. It smells a little like a swamp, you know, very humid, and well, it's not a nice smell. But I'm just continuing to dig, and I think I slowly getting where I need to be, removing the very old, badly draining soil. So I'm starting to have quite a clear view on the root ball now, and it's obvious that this is the bad guy, so I will have to remove this one. So you see, this is just one root, but this is 2 centimeters in the pot, so that makes a huge difference. And if I look around this big root, I see, well, really tons of little feeder roots, so I'm sure I can take off at least 1 more centimeter. Without hurting the tree whatsoever. Now, this is not an easy operation. So, if you see, this is really a small amount of feeder roots, but again, 1.5 to 2 centimeters. And I'm going to continue searching for these big and quite useless roots. I found here a root here, and you see it's a thick root. There are no feeder roots on it, so same here and here. And by just removing these, it is possible to untangle the small ones, get the old soil out. And it's just a slow process. And with every little part that you remove, you must go and wash the root ball. But you see all these nice red roots, that are meaning that the tree is healthy and doing well. Every time you get a tree out of its pot, you must do work on the roots, because this is so important to improve the tree. Again here, this is a big root, very few feeder roots, see? And again I'm gaining access to old soil, which I can remove. So because I removed a fair amount of big roots at the bottom, it is now possible to put this tree in this pot, and pushing it quite a lot down, so that it's possible to fit this tree in this pot. If I take a look at this stick, it is obvious that this is much better. Of course, if I don't hold this tree, it's going to lift itself because of the roots that have already a preformed shape. So I will have to fix this tree in the spot now, and I'm going to use an old trick for that with a few bamboos. So the first thing to do is to prepare the pot with a wire going through the drainage holes, and then add a layer of thick lava. So now I'm going to position the tree in the pot, and well, this is the center, and because this tree is going a little bit in this direction, I will have to place the tree a little more to this side, which is of course a little bit of a problem, because most of the roots are on this side, so well, it will have to work anyway. And so I'm going to lift and tilt this tree with bamboo sticks until I find the right angle. This is better. So let's see now. The tree is going to be this deep in the pot. So this is going to be the soil level. Yeah, I think this looks good. So now I'm going to tie this tree in the pot. So you see the bamboos are still here. If I move them, the tree is going to change angles. So what I'm going to do now is add some more lava. And then work it under the cavities that I have. Which will take some time, of course, but when I remove the bamboos, then the tree will stay in the position that I anchored it now. So the first layer of soil is now in the pot and under the roots, and now I can remove the little bamboo sticks, and you see that the tree will stay in position, and I just have to fill up the rest of the remaining holes, and then I will prepare the moss. Clean up the too much soil, of course, and then moss the tree. So I prepared a few pieces of moss, which I'm going to place on the tree now. And I'm just going to try to follow the line between the roots. Like so. Press the moss in a little. And I have different types of moss, which gives a natural aspect to the whole ensemble. Yeah, like that. I'm not going to moss the whole surface. This brown lava is quite beautiful. So this is all the moss I'm going to use this time. Just filling up the edges so that the moss is a little buried at the edges. I used 4 different types of moss, which are growing everywhere. Once you have a nice moss collection, well, it will propagate by itself. The tree is now mossed, and because it is well fixed with all the soil in the pot now, I was able to remove the wire from underneath. Now I will have to clean the whole tree. Clean the dead wood with just a toothbrush and water, and clean the bark so that it will reveal a nice and some reddish color, which is very beautiful on junipers. So I managed to finish cleaning up the tree, and well, there's room for some more improvement regarding the bark and so on. It is possible to clean the bark with a little oil, and then the red will turn out even better. I must say that I'm quite happy about this new pot. It's a little more lightweight, and it suits the tree quite well. Now that the deadwood is white again, it makes a nice contrast with the living parts. So just a quick 360 to finish this. So I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.